Number 10. That freaky Japanese mermaid mummy. Tucked away in a quiet temple on some remote Japanese island, they've got this relic that's been staring back at folks for 300 years, a desiccated mermaid that could star in your next insomnia playlist. Locals dubbed it a ningyo, whispering that a nibble from its flesh might buy you eternal life. Desperate times, right? Who wouldn't eye a snack like that if the alternative was? Well, the alternative. But hold up, recent CT scans peeled back the layers, revealing it's no mythical sea babe. Nah, it's a Frankenstein mashup of fish scales, monkey bits and lizard limbs sewn together in some back alley taxidermy session from hell. Touch it wrong, say the villagers, and you'll doom every boat in the harbor to the ocean's bottom. Superstition? Maybe. But with copycat mummies popping up in other old shrines across Japan, you start wondering if someone's still playing God with spare parts. Ever catch yourself staring at a weird souvenir thinking, what if this thing's got a grudge? Number 9. The blade-handed dude from northern Italy. Picture this, you're sifting through a dusty 6th to 8th century burial site up there, pulling out skeletons like it's a grim lottery, and bam! One guy's got a full-on dagger where his right hand used to be. Not a prop from some Renaissance fair. This was a flesh and blood survivor from back when prosthetics meant strapping on steel and hoping for the best. Amid 200 other stiffs, he was the outlier, his forearm hacked off clean, likely one solid whack from a sword or axe. In an era sans penicillin that should have been game over, bleed out or rot from the inside. Yet this tough bastard hung on till his late 40 seconds, rigging that knife with leather ties and a bronze clasp for daily wear. Get this, his front chompers are filed down funny, like he gripped the straps with his teeth every dawn to cinch it tight. And his shoulder? Warped from lugging that extra weight, proof he swung that blade like it was his new normal. Battle wound, botched surgery, or maybe he swiped the wrong loaf and paid the price? Historian's shrug could be any. But damn, talk about adapting or dying. Makes your paper cuts feel trivial, huh? Number 8. The Mount Owen Moa Talon, straight out of a Jurassic fever dream. Back in 1987, cavers wormed into a pitch-black fissure on New Zealand's Mount Owen and yanked out a monster bird foot, claws curved like scythes, wrapped in leathery skin, tendons, and muscle that looked fresh off the kill. You'd swear the thing keeled over last Tuesday, not 3,300 years back, per the carbon tests. This bad boy hailed from the upland Moa, a towering terror at over 12 feet high, strutting around predator-free like it owned the joint. No wings, just legs for days, and a vibe that said, come at me world. Then Polynesians rolled in around the 1300s, total strangers to these giants who treated humans like just another bush to peck at. Big oops, in under a century, we hunted them to extinction eggs, chicks, the works, brutal efficiency. The real kicker? That claw's so pristine, it's coughing up usable Moa DNA. Jurassic Park whispers are real now. Folks are eyeing de-extinction, like it's the next big pet trend. Imagine spotting one of these in your backyard. Would you run or snap a selfie? Yeah, me neither. Number 7. Mummies caught mid-scream, the kind that echo across millennia. Kick off with Peru's Tomb Hauler. This wrapped wonder slathered in a bizarre red gunk, think marine fats mixed with balsam and resin, hauled 7,000 miles from the southwest Pacific. These pre-Inca pros weren't skimping. They crossed oceans for the good stuff to lock in eternity. Flip to Egypt, and you've got Unknown Man E. His mug frozen in pure, pan-sweating terror like death, hit pause on a horror reel. Experts pin it on cadaveric spasm. Muscles season your last gasp, etching that final freakout forever. Both these stiffs rated VIP treatment elaborate wraps, prime real estate tombs, so whatever nightmare they clocked at the end must have been next level. Plague demon? Cursed ritual gone sideways? We're left guessing, but those agape jaws, they're still hollering warnings we can't quite hear. Ever wake up from a dream yelling, only to forget why? Multiply that by forever. Number 6. Poland's vampire-proof graves, paranoia etched in bone. Unearthed one. And it's not your standard dirt-napped skull jammed between the knees, a rusty sickle kissing the neck like a promise of try me. This was peak undead defense, 17th century style, when folks in rural Poland weren't taking chances on granny rising for tea. Kids got toe padlocks to hobble any grave-digging urges, grown-ups face down, so if they clawed up, they'd just burrow deeper like deranged moles. And those sickles? Instant decap if the coffin creaks. Not isolated crankery, either dozens of these setups dot plague-ravaged sites back when contagion meant vampire party. Mass graves from the 1600s and 1700s overflow with the evidence. Right up till Enlightenment folks finally chilled. What sparked it? Bloated corpses from bad burials, maybe. Or just too many foggy nights with howling winds. You'd bolt your doors too, right? Wonder if they'd laugh at our garlic breath hacks or nah, probably not. Number 5. The Chained Rebel Pit in Athens, a tableau of stay down. 2016 excavation hits pay dirt. 80 skeletons in tidy grid lines, like someone alphabetized the apocalypse, with 36 still rattling iron cuffs on their wrists. No hasty dump job here, these were posed with care, almost respectful if you squint past the gore. Bones scream prime specimens. Young, athletic builds from elite stock, not street scum. Theories they were casualties of a 632 BC putsch, spearheaded by Cylon, that Olympic track star turned wannabe tyrant. Heads roll literally but surprise, full honors burial, not the usual criminal toss into a mass trench. Those shackles? Pricey iron, wasted on the already dead. Means their killers had deep pockets and deeper fears like, even post-mortem, these guys might rally the pitchforks. Revolution's a hell of a drug. Apparently, it lingers. Picture chaining ghosts just to sleep at night overkill or smart insurance? Number 4. Aztec Skull Towers, Death's Own Skyline. Stroll ancient Tenochtitlan, and you'd gawk at Zompantli racks, endless grids of craniums skewered on poles. A bony billboard for we mean business. Not haphazard heaps, artisans drilled temple-side holes in fresh heads, slotting them onto hardwood like macabre kebabs, stacking thousands high. Latest digs under Mexico City's bustle unearthed the real deal. Rows upon rows, just as chroniclers sketched. Twist? Half the skulls are female or kid-size, not the expected warrior loot. Aztecs figured these grim galleries juiced the cosmos, each dome a power cell zapping gods with mojo to crank the sun's daily lap. Conquistadors ranted about the spectacle, but we dismissed it as tall tales. Then shovels proved them right, unearthing fresh display marks on some flesh, still clinging when hoisted. Balance the stars or bust, they thought. Kinda makes traffic jams feel quaint, doesn't it? What do you hang on your wall to keep the world spinning? Number 3. Germany's Herxheim Charnel House, where history went full cannibal cult. 1,996 bulldozers chew through a site, spitting out pits crammed with 500 plus soul toddlers to grannies all carved up like holiday roasts. No tender burials, cut patterns scream filleting, hides peeled, limbs hacked, haunches slow, cooked over fires. Skulls? Masterclass in repurposing cracked meat, brains scooped, tongues yanked, shells polished into chalices for whatever toast followed. Famine dodge? Nope, too meticulous. Same playbook etched across centuries of linear pottery folk. DNA pings victims trucked in from 200 miles off like a regional invite to the Slaughterfest. This wasn't rogue hunger, it was ritual theater, drawing crowds from across the map. What theology twists a society into thinking skull mugs are peak hospitality? Sleep's optional after that one, your brain's busy rewriting dinner party forever. Number 2. The Jerusalem Necromancer Den, Underworld's old VIP lounge. In those rolling Judean hills, diggers cracked a Roman-era cavern retooled as a hotline to the hereafter. Theomim's depths hid 120 oil lamps wedged in crannies, flickering setups for shadow chats. But the juice? Human domes stacked in ritual grids, flanked by bronze blades and hatchet stools for coaxing spirits or slicing deals. One noggin sported a flax scrap inscribed with incantations, like a post-it from the grave. These ghost whisperers pegged the spot as Hades' backdoor. Layout screaming summoning circle, not eternal rest. Risky gig in Empire days. Rome crucified dabblers on sight, but they partied on for generations. Lamps refilled, spells refreshed, evidence layers thick, centuries of midnight powwows. Ever dial a wrong number and get chills? Amp that to eternity's echo. Number 1. Paracas Conehead Crew. Skulls that scream not from around here. 1,928 Peru strike. A candelabra geoglyph site's worth of noggins, but elongated like taffy pull gone wild, 25% bigger volume, 60% heavier, defying grandma's binding tricks. Local cinched infant craniums with boards and rags, molding melon-shaped status symbols, ancient extreme makeover, head edition. But scan spot anomalies. Single parietal bone slab, not the usual duo, plus DNA glitches that ghost no modern tribe. Echoes worldwide, Croatia to Colchis, Egypt to the Andes like head-stretching, swept the globe pre-Instagram. Natives spin it darker, not cosmetic flex, but crowns of star-fallen kings, hybrid bloodlines, or straight-up visitors. Fashion fad, or forbidden origins. Either way, it lingers like that one family photo you can't unsee. What if your ancestry files got a plot twist? Whew, that's the lineup history's hall of what the actual hell. If any of these unearthed your personal nightmare fuel, drop it in the comments. What's the creepiest relic you'd never want to stub your toe on? Hit that bell if you're hooked for more unearthed unease. We'll unearth it together.